You know that feeling when your home, the one place meant to be your sanctuary, starts to feel like enemy territory? It started with a single note taped to my door. Violation. Trash bin visible past 8 p.m. A $50 fine. First I laughed. Thought it was a mistake. But that little slip of paper was the match, and my quiet suburban street was the dry field waiting to catch fire. Within weeks, I was drowning in violations I never committed. Overgrown hedges that weren't mine, noise complaints during hours I wasn't even home, and one that actually said porch furniture not aesthetically harmonious with community standards. Whatever that means, that's when I realized this wasn't about rules. This was personal. And the HOA? They weren't just enforcing guidelines, they were targeting me. But here's what they didn't know: I wasn't just going to pay the fines and shut up. I had time. I had receipts. And I had a plan. Let's just say their little game? It was about to backfire big time. Stick around, because it ends with a police investigation, a leaked recording, and an HOA president who should have read the fine print before messing with the wrong neighbor. Oh, and by the way, make sure you're subscribed. You won't want to miss how this one unravels. It all began when I moved into Birchwood Estates. Quiet place. Clean lawns. Neighbors who waved, even if it felt a little forced. Cookie-cutter perfection with an HOA board who smiled just a little too wide. I should have known something was off when the welcome packet came with a 30-page rulebook and a form to report aesthetic disruptions. At the first HOA meeting, I met Cheryl, president, clipboard queen, voice like a dial tone and eyes that scanned you like a barcode. She welcomed me, all right, with a smile that didn't touch her eyes and a weirdly specific question. So, you planning on painting that front door? No? Apparently, my dark green door clashed with the HOA's neighborhood harmony color palette. I didn't even know door colors could be offensive. Still, I let it slide. New place, new people. I wanted to keep the peace. But peace wasn't on Cheryl's agenda. The notes started showing up weekly. Then daily. Fines for things I didn't do. Accusations of leaving my garden hose out. Alleged water waste violations. A $200 fine for hosting an unapproved gathering, which was literally just my sister visiting for dinner. When I tried to appeal the fines, the HOA meetings would mysteriously reschedule last minute, or my emails would bounce back. And then came the day they crossed the line. My mailbox ripped out of the ground. No note this time. Just the jagged pole still sticking out of the dirt and Cheryl's car conveniently parked across the street. Watching. That was just the beginning. It spiraled. I installed a Ring camera. The next morning, it was spray-painted black. My fence? Someone slashed it open, panel by panel, in the dead of night. One morning, I found a notice duct taped to my garage: final warning, non-compliant holiday decor. Immediate removal required. It was July. The decor? A small wind chime shaped like a sun. They escalated because I didn't play ball. They wanted submission. They got resistance. When I started documenting everything, photos, videos, call logs, that's when it got really weird. Suddenly, Cheryl wasn't just mailing fines, she was sending emails that CC'd the whole neighborhood, accusing me of being aggressive, unneighborly, and unwilling to conform. One of my neighbors, Ted, quietly pulled me aside. She did the same thing to the Rodriguez family. They moved last year. HOA made their life a nightmare until they sold below market. That's when it clicked. This wasn't about rules. It was a scheme. They were bullying people out of their homes to grab undervalued property through shell buyers. But I wasn't going anywhere. And Cheryl didn't know I had a friend on the inside. Remember Ted? He used to be on the board. Quiet guy, but meticulous. Still had access to old meeting recordings and documents. We met up in secret. He brought a flash drive. You didn't hear this from me. He walked away without saying another word. What I heard on that audio: Cheryl and 2 other board members plotting, laughing about how much equity juice they could squeeze if another complainer moved out. It was corruption, recorded, timestamped, real. I smiled. They picked the wrong house. Now it was my turn. First, I backed up everything. Flash drive, cloud, even a copy stashed at my sister's place. Then I sent an anonymous tip to the local news. Small town, big appetite for HOA drama. While they prepped their story, I filed a police report with evidence. malicious property damage, coordinated harassment, conspiracy to defraud homeowners. The whole menu. Next, I waited until the next HOA meeting. Cheryl called it like usual. Her voice all syrupy sweet. But this time I showed up early. I passed out little flyers to the neighbors. QR code on the front. HOA Transparency Project. Listen and decide for yourself. The link? That meeting audio. Public. Unfiltered. I didn't say a word during the meeting. Just sat in the back. Watched faces shift from boredom to confusion to rage. One guy stood up mid-meeting and shouted, "So that's why my cousin moved out." Another neighbor called Cheryl a parasite in a pantsuit. Then came the best part. Two officers walked in. Calm. Quiet. Asked to speak to Cheryl. You should have seen her face. Like someone just told her the clipboard was a warrant. The investigation that followed? Beautiful. Turns out Cheryl and her little HOA mafia had been quietly snapping up properties through relatives and flipping them. Unrecorded votes. Fake violations. Falsified meeting notes. It all came crashing down. She resigned for health reasons a week later. Two other board members stepped down after community pressure. Translation, everyone found out what they'd been doing. And me? I was asked to join the new HOA board. I declined. But I did paint my front door bright red. Because now, nobody says a damn word. You know, I used to think HOA rules were about keeping things neat. Turns out power doesn't need a big office or a police badge. Sometimes it just needs a clipboard and a grudge. But here's the thing about bullies in positions of power, they always think you'll fold. Until you don't. So if you've ever been targeted, shut out, or told to just follow the rules, this story's for you. Stand your ground. Keep your receipts. And never underestimate the power of a well-timed audio file. And hey, if you made it this far, comment "Justice served" so Cheryl's ghost knows we're still watching. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because next time, we're talking about a neighbor with a leaf blower and a lawsuit. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.